Our next hip mobility test is going to be a modified Scour test. So a Scour test is a test that a lot of times I'll use with athletes in the clinic or come to see me in the gym, where I move their hip around to figure out where their hip socket is best suited to squat to maximal depth. So this can be valuable information for identifying where we want to position your legs if our goal is to squat as deeply as possible. The way we're gonna perform this test is we're gonna get on our hands and knees with our feet flat on the wall. We're gonna start with our thighs vertical, a flat neutral spine positioning, and we're simply gonna rock back and start to feel when we start to feel limited. Usually that's gonna be like a restriction in the front of the hip while you maintain a flat back. Once you start to feel any limitation, you're gonna stop the test. That's where your mobility is in that specific position. Now, it's really important that you maintain a flat back. So look at the difference between me maintaining a flat back as I go down versus me rounding my back. If I round my back, I can go significantly further. If I arch my back a ton, I can go significantly less. So we need to be kind of neutral spine positioning. If you can't feel that or don't know exactly what that is, you can either have somebody watch you and give you some feedback and coach you through that, or you can take a PVC pipe and have it touch your upper back, your head, and your tailbone, and you can replicate this test while you maintain those 3 points of contact. So if you start to lose that bottom point, you know that you've started to round your back, and that can be a good bit of feedback for maintaining neutral spine. After you test in this narrow position, thighs vertical, and you find your limitation, we're gonna just widen out a little bit. So I only came out about a ½ inch to an inch on each side. I'm gonna repeat that drill. I can go a little bit lower there, but not a whole lot. And I'm gonna keep repeating that with different degrees of kind of toe out and leg width here until I find this position where I can go as far down as I possibly can while maintaining a flat back. Now, as I continue to go further out, so that was kind of my optimal position. As I continue to go further out, I then get again to where, boom, I run out of motion fairly early. So for me, about this position right here was where my body allowed me to get to maximal depth in the hip joint while maintaining a neutral spine position. If we take this up to standing and I go to kind of that same foot position, same knee position, you'll see that allows me to squat really deep, maintaining a neutral spine position. If I go back to that narrow position like we started to on the wall and I squat down, boom, I'm out of motion pretty quick. If I go super wide like we ended, boom, out of hip motion pretty quickly. So that should give you an idea of approximately where we want to position your legs when you're squatting for optimal hip mobility and hip positioning for maximal depth.